Hey, Rick.
Hey, Ann.
How's it been going?
It's been fine. It's been a week.
Yes.
But it's fine.
Yes, it has been. So, what do you want to do when you grow up?
Fuck if I know.
Yeah, me too.
What a question. Welcome back, all you silly people. Fuck. This is Sister Show Me How, a podcast, a place where we help you talk through all the real rough shit. I'm Righteous Rick, host of Sister Show Me How and your how-to sister.
And I'm Enlightened M, your co-host of Sister Show Me How and your other how-to sister.
We're righteous and enlightened. I love that. All right.
I'm trying to match.
You know, a new year equals all these new resolutions, equals all this new pressure to be a more normal you. But to what end? Like, what the fuck even for? Why do we even want to be more normal?
What even is normal?
I know, it sounds like normal SpongeBob where he's like all rounded out with no holes. It's fucking weird. It's creepy. It's weird and it's creepy. That's what normal is.
Weird and creepy?
Weird and creepy. Well, when everyone's doing the same thing, yeah, it starts to get a little weird and creepy, you know? I think, in my humble opinion, that if there is going to be one resolution that is worth a shit at all, it is to find your Ikigai.
Bless you.
No, it's a word.
All right, what the fuck is Ikigai?
Okay, so I guess we'll dive into it. What does Ikigai mean? How do I figure mine out? And then what? Let's talk about it. Okay, so you're right. Ikigai, it's a weird word. It's actually from Japan. It is the Japanese word for your reason for being.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yes, I thought so too. The Oxford Dictionary defines an Ikigai as a motivating force, something or someone that gives a person a sense of purpose or a reason for being.
That's really cute.
I know, I thought so. And so I really think that that's probably the only real, concrete, worthwhile New Year's resolution.
I mean, especially, I feel like all the time, if you have any sort of depression, but especially existential dread of any sort,
Yes.
It's like, there's always this question of like, why are we here? And like, I think oftentimes people focus so much on this grand, like worldwide scale. And I feel like your purpose, your Ikigai can be so much more intimate and personal to just you.
Yeah, absolutely. So how to find your Ikigai? It's actually set up and broken up into 4 steps. Okay. So to break those down, step 1 is self-discovery. What do you love to do? What drives you? What energizes you? What makes you feel like you're not working when you're doing it? If you have no clue, take some personality tests. It's not always that one will resonate with you. Sometimes you can definitely tell the researcher's bias within the personality test, and that's fine. That's why I recommend taking multiple and looking into different aspects of your personality too, and seeing what resonates with you and what doesn't. As always, take what you need and leave what you don't. Step 2 is experiment. What are you good at? What talents do you have? This may also not even necessarily be something that you off the bat think, oh, well, I really like doing that. It could be something that's like kind of tedious and you don't really have a preference for it, but you're really fucking good at it. And it doesn't bother you to do it. It's just not your favorite thing in the world. Those are okay too. Those are things that we also need to do too, because not everything can be your favorite. You know, otherwise your favorite wouldn't be as special.
Right.
Step 3, think big. Does the world need it? And again, by the world, we do mean originally just your own little community. And you are the universe is you. So does the world need it? Do you need it? Because if you need it, the world probably needs it, because we are not as unique as we think we are, and there is at least 15 other people suffering through the same shit that we're suffering through, needing the same tips and tools that we need. So, sorry to burst your bubble, but we're really not that unique.
This is
we
true.
just think we are because of our egos. But also, what are you willing to sacrifice to get those things? You know, if the world really does need it, what kind of things are you willing to work on? What kinds of things are you willing to, you know, bend and compromise on in order to get that thing done? Step 4, get real. Can you get paid for this? We still live in a society, unfortunately, and we still have bills to pay. We still need to make sure that our bellies are full, that our backs are covered, and that our heads are under a roof. So how can you make a living with your purpose? And how can you turn that into a full-time gig?
Yeah. I think that may also go back to like step 2 and kind of step 3. Well, and step 1, honestly, is like things
They're all connected.
things that you enjoy, like something that's your favorite thing that like really drives you as maybe like a hobby, does not necessarily mean that that is your purpose to get money and be a career.
Right.
Sometimes that is meant just to be your hobby and just to be your relaxing thing. And maybe it's like you said, that thing that you're really good at, but that isn't your favorite thing. Maybe that's what's supposed to be your purpose, because your favorite thing is always going to be the hobby. Maybe it needs to be the hobby. And so this next thing that like isn't quite your favorite, but that you're still really good at, maybe that's what you need to work towards.
Yeah. So your Ikigai actually ends up being the point in which all of these areas overlap. So your reason for getting out of bed ends up being something you enjoy doing, something you're good at, something you can get paid for, and something that you need / the world needs. So it's where all of those Venn diagrams kind of meet in the center.
Mm-hmm.
Your reason for being 100% can and probably will shift and move throughout your lifetime, as it should. Stay lifting and shifting, as always. But once you find what that is, act on it. It's not that hard to chase your dreams. People only make it sound hard because of the fear, and we don't really need that anymore. It's not that hard. I've already done it. I've already achieved my life's dream once, and now I'm trying to do it again because I realized my life's dream was not really my dream. So, yeah. And that's what I mean. You just have to give yourself grace with your fuck-ups and your trials and errors, because it's all just a matter of, does this work for me? Yes, okay, move on. No, okay, move on.
And there is no deadline for it. You don't have to figure this out when you're 18, go to college, and then have that be your life's career forever. Like, you can be, I mean, we hear about it all the time with people who, you know, at like 35, that's the first time that they like published a book, or at 40, they went back to college, or, you know, like you don't have to do this in your 20s.
Right. There's no timeline for any one person to adhere to. There is no, as she said, deadline for these things. Your timeline is your own. You get to decide when it is okay and right for you to do the things that you need to do. End of story, full stop.
Yes.
Be honest with yourself. Don't overthink it. You already know what your Ikigai is. It's just that you don't know it. You know?
Subconscious you does. Conscious you doesn't necessarily.
There you go. She got it. That's why I say don't overthink it and just be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
You know? Do you have any like preliminary thoughts about what you think your Ikigai might be?
Yes.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
at least for right now, maybe not forever. But,
Heard.
I think, you know, like going through and kind of following these steps, like things that I enjoy, like hobbies and stuff outside of work, are obviously like reading, artsy stuff. I like to game, you know, those sorts of things. But then going through and like, what maybe does the world need and like what could I make money on? I really think that like kind of the overlapping one is reading. And I maybe art, but I see that one much more as a hobby.
Yeah.
And maybe that's, you know, a personal block of mine. I don't know. But I think personally for me, reading, like going into like the editing or publishing world is kind of what I think that my Ikigai could be. Because, I mean, I already naturally, when I'm reading, I'm like, why did you write that sentence like this?
What were you thinking?
Yeah, I'm like, you just used this word like 2 sentences ago. Can you figure something else out? Like, there's thesaurus.com for a reason.
You know you're holding the breath. Let it go.
Yes, exactly. Nobody needs that sentence in their books anymore. It is disallowed for the next 50 years.
There's a bare minimum time frame, 50 years.
Yeah, let's get a couple generations through reading and without that, and then we're good.
I think that's a good. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Because you're right, the world does need more editors and more stories always. So either one of those routes could be good for you. Also, it could become something you love if you start reading your own stories. You know what I mean? Like it turns into your hobby.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. That's
Yeah.
a good one. I genuinely kind of think. I think I'm doing it already.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, and not to the full extent that I want to be, but I think I'm already on the path to be in my Ikigai, to be...
That's awesome.
Yeah, because the things that I love to do are art, are teaching, and expressing myself, and it sounds kind of cheesy, but I love confrontation. And not in the, like, combative way, just in a way that, like, I like to face things head on. I like to have the hard conversations. I like to face my fears. I like to force other people to face their fears. And so I feel like with what I'm doing right now, with my current clock-in job, I'm getting paid to do art. So I'm not really expressing myself, but I am being creative. So that's nice. And it pays the bills.
Right.
So that checks off enough. And then doing art on the side, because for me, this is part art. Like research is art. If you can find the art in science and the science in art, your perspective is in the right spot.
Agreed.
Because everything is connected. And genuinely, that's how Thomas Edison and Isaac Newton figured out groundbreaking, revolutionary things that they did, was because they recognized the art of science and the science of art.
Yeah.
And that comes with writing and everything. Like, communication is an art. You can see that just with how it changes so often, how the Oxford Dictionary needs to update itself like every year, if not 2, you know? So I feel like with my current job and this podcast, if I could get my art stuff more up and going and find more financial freedom of my own autonomy, I think I would be in the prime spot. But I am on the right path already.
Yeah, that's great.
It is. And honestly, I didn't even recognize it until we did this. I didn't realize that, like, I was still over here just like, oh, I fucking hate my job. Oh, I'm so overwhelmed by this podcast. Oh, this, that, and the third. But it's like, okay, yes, maybe my job is not my favorite thing, but only because I feel like I'm spending more time there than I need to. And only because I've made myself financially dependent on that job. Only because I haven't done the steps I need to do. And I get overwhelmed by this podcast only because I'm not managing my time well enough. I'm not setting up for this in preparation well enough. So these are just things that I need to shift and change, and that should not be enough to adjust my entire perspective into thinking that my life is shit, even though I am doing the things that I dreamed of doing not even 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I was jealous of my partner for living the life that I am living now.
Yeah.
Now I get to live the life where my friends are jealous of me.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it feels like good. Like, when I recognize that, like, even my friends who love me and want the best for me are like, God damn, I wish I was doing what you were doing. I'm like, fuck yeah, you do. Come join me. Like, I will help you figure out what you want to do, i.e. find your Ikigai.
Yeah.
I have no problem. I'm not going to keep this gate closed. I have no problem helping other people figure out what they want to do. And it's great because that's part of what I like to do. I want to help other people succeed. I don't want to be the only one up here, you know?
Yeah. I think it's really great that you feel like you've already found your Ikigai and you're already on that path to like doing that, and you already in many ways are doing that.
Trying. I'm getting there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that I still definitely need to work on mine because obviously right now like reading is still just a hobby for me, and like who knows, maybe that's just my like ADHD hyperfixation and that's not actually like what my Ikigai is.
Fair.
So I actually think that some things that I can work on is like, for instance, I'm like pretty self-aware, but sometimes I kind of struggle with like the why of things. So like, yes, I'm aware that I enjoy reading, or like, yes, I'm aware that, you know, I kind of nitpick at like grammar stuff, but I, you know, sometimes need to see the bigger picture. And so I think something like journaling can be really helpful. I know we talk about that a lot on this podcast.
It's really helpful.
That's, you know, I don't want to say that that's like something everybody should be doing because some people it just doesn't work for them. But like figuring out something like that that helps you kind of be more introspective can kind of help you figure that out and, you know, have some of that self-discovery. And then I also get really bad decision paralysis. Ooh. So I think that that's something that like has kind of steered me to where I am today. Mm-hmm. And then also, yes, held me back. And so I think that's why I'm kind of in this situation now where I'm like, I think maybe I know what my Ikigai could be, but I'm not like super sure. And like, that's why I'm in this like field that I'm in that, to be honest, like, I should have seen the red flags before, because I remember people asking me like why I had picked this major in college, and I was like, I don't really know. I'm just here.
Yeah.
And so I think something that can be helpful, especially if you're stuck between like two things, is flip a coin. Because if you're truly 100% tied between those two things, then whichever one it lands on probably doesn't matter. You're going to be happy either way. And if not, then the way that you feel when that coin has like made a decision for you is going to tell you everything you need to know. Yeah. So if you're disappointed, do the other thing. Yeah. If you're happy, great, got the right one. And also, like going back to the neutrality thing, I think whichever one it lands on, if you're truly neutral about which way it goes, it's kind of the universe like helping you decide.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good way of putting it. And genuinely, I do this coin flip too thing because mostly with food, because I can never decide like what I want, and I'm a woman, so that makes total sense. I check that stereotype box. Fucking sue me, whatever. But yeah, I feel like the coin flipping thing, regardless of what it ends up being, it tells you immediately what you need to know about the decision you're going to make, and that's really the whole point of that. It doesn't really matter what the coin flip says.
Yeah, it's really going to tell you, because like it kind of puts you in that moment of making the decision without you truly making it. Because like, let's say you have two job offers and you're like, man, they both seem really great and I don't know what I want to do, and you flip that coin, and, you know, job A is heads and job B is tails, and it lands on A, or heads. It lands on A.
It lands on A.
Regardless, whatever. On heads. So that puts you in that position of feeling like you're taking job A without actually having accepted it and having to live with either that regret or happiness in reality.
Yeah.
Like it simulates that for you so that you can make that decision and feel more confident in that.
Right. And again, your brain is just mush in a skull, soup in a bowl in your head. And it's easily manipulated. It doesn't know the difference between perceived and real experiences. So you can 100% trick your brain into helping you along, because a lot of the times your brain is there to hurt you more than help you with the way that we've been preconditioned, a lot of us. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the ways that I use, similar to the coin flip, is I use tarot.
Okay.
I am a practicing earth religion individual. I don't practice Wicca so much, and I only say that because I don't practice the Gardner specific way that he sets up Wicca practices, but it is still an earth religion, and I use a lot of the same tools that Wiccans use. So I should say I'm a Wiccan just for sake of ease, but I'm not entirely. I'm an earth religion practitioner. Nice to meet you. But tarot is one of the things that I find is a great way to get advice from spirit, which is really just yourself. You're channeling your own energy into the cards, into helping you clear any subconscious blockages that you may have. And so I like to be prepared for the year ahead. And so I like to draw a card for the year, and I like to do readings and stuff for the year. And sometimes it really helps me to figure out how I want to go about the year. Like if I know that I'm about to be fucked and I just pulled the Tower card, which for reference, the Tower is a card that usually denotes a lot of chaos. Like something dramatic is probably going to happen. So if I know that's my card for the year and that's the themes that I'm going to see prevalent that year, I usually try to set things up a little more lazily for myself. That way when the chaos comes, I can fall back on the laziness and I don't have to deal with it so much. But sometimes I do my math wrong and it fucks me. Like it did this year. Because I had been talking all year that it was my Hermit year. And again, the Hermit is a card that is supposed to represent like self-enlightenment and like really going inside yourself and having a solo journey to spirituality, you know? And that's not what happened to me this year. Instead, there was a lot of emotional chaos. There was a lot of me having to defend my boundaries and my emotions, and I lost a lot. There was a lot of deception that was brought from out of the curtain. And at the end of the year, it literally took me until fucking December to recognize, because I was doing my card for the next year. And I was like, oh, it's the sun. The sun's number is 19. And I was like, wait a second. Because they're chronological. Obviously, every year, 2021. So like your card for the year will follow the major arcana. So you'll start at the Fool and you'll go all the way through the World, right? So if I was at the Hermit, which is 9, I should have been at 10, which is next, which is the Wheel of Fortune. When I did my math, I got the number 19 and realized my year for next year is the sun. The one before that, 18, is the fucking moon, which is what I should have been this year, which is a card. And I literally looked up the exact definition. So a hermit shows you are taking a break from everyday life to draw your energy and attention inward, find the answers you seek deep within your soul. The moon deals with our emotion, mostly our fears and disillusionments. It begs you to go deeper into the shadows and trust your gut.
I think it's so funny now that we're talking about this. We've already kind of discussed this, but I almost wonder if the universe kind of had you do this on purpose.
Fuck it up?
Yeah, not know. Because I feel like, especially if like the moon talks about like like having like some dishonest friends or something,
It does.
I think you would have been really on guard and maybe not handled things the same way that you did. And you might have ended up still with some of those friends in your circle and not fully realizing maybe
Yeah, that's fair.
that they were like still being dishonest and not having your best interests at heart. Whereas like I feel like thinking that you were in your hermit year, you're not looking out for that. And so like you just were sticking with your gut of like, no, I'm holding my boundaries up and not thinking about the fact that like these friends are dishonest and like kind of backstabby.
Yeah.
So I think you stood your ground maybe a little bit more than if you had been on guard about that.
Yeah. And there's something so very on theme about the fact that I was illusioned from the idea that the moon was my card from the year. Like, I didn't even know.
Yep.
Like, there's something so on brand. You almost have to, way to go, universe. You got me.
Yeah.
You pulled one over on me. I had no fucking idea.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it was really obvious to me once I did the math, and I was like, no fucking way. Because I looked back in my text messages because I had to make sure this was all in this year because it was a lot. I stopped talking to my biological sperm donor in March. I had a fight with 2 of my best friends from high school. We'd been friends for over 11 years. I stopped talking to one of them in literally June, the next one in September. And then I lost a bunch of like random casualty friends that I had just collected that year that like didn't really have my back or like want to be my friends. So it was either like they decided I was too much and they decided to leave, or it just didn't really work out and we just kind of separated, or I held fast and I decided to leave. And it was like everything was cut loose. All of the strings from all the dolls, and it's just me left on the stage. Curtains out. End of stage. End of scene.
Yeah. See, and I feel like also the hermit, because I remember, because we had lots of conversations about this, where we would talk about like, well, it's your hermit year. Maybe that's why you're losing these friends, is you needed to lose them to like have your hermit year. And I feel like that also helped you kind of let go of some of them the way that you needed to.
That's good. That's a good... Yeah. You see, the reason why I was confused is because you're not supposed to narrow the number down. The way you get your card for the year is you total the digits of your birthday plus the year. So mine is 1217 plus last year, which is 2023. So it'd be 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 7 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3. And the total was 18. And you're not supposed to
narrow it down
until 22.
Okay.
Because that's the number of cards that are in the major arcana. And I got 18 and I was like, oh, that's too big. I need some. And I got 1 plus 8, which is 9, which gives me the hermit. Yeah. Whatever. It's fine. Now I know. But do you want to know what else is funny?
What?
I actually, in my moon year, changed my last name to Moon. How fucking crazy is that?
It's very fitting.
And not because I knew that it was my moon year, not because I'm trying to be some kitschy cliche earth practitioner, but because it is my family's maiden name. It is on that side of the family, and like I've said before, I don't want to have anything to do with my sperm donor. I don't want his name. He and my mother were not even married when I was born, so there's literally no reason for me to have his name at all. And I decided that this year and took on my mother's family name, and it just happened to be Moon in my moon year.
That's so funny.
Fucking, when I tell you symbolisms and themes are not just for novels, this is what I mean.
It's real life, people.
Like, how crazy is that? When I realized that, I was like, ah! It's just so funny to me. I'm geeking out over here.
The universe works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, it does. But speaking of numerology and using your birthday and numerology to help you figure out your life path, I did find an activity for us. It's not quite as witchy as my yearly trick, but it is to calculate our life path number. So your life path deals with general life and everyday ups and downs. We all have a particular theme to our lives, kind of like a flow. And this life path number helps us see where our lives will flow, like in a general sense.
I feel like this one is almost kind of sort of a personality test in a way too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Like kind of can tell you some personality stuff.
Yeah, because there's really only like 13 paths on here, I think. It's 1 through 9 and then 11, 22, and 33. So it is kind of like a stereotypical personality test, but this one you don't have to answer any questions. It's just what day you were born on.
It's just math.
Yeah. So obviously, if it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, you know, go fuck yourself. Go find another one. But
maybe you did your math wrong.
God damn it.
No, but also in all seriousness, because we like had a discussion. And I was like, did I do this right? Like I was like overthinking it. So. Yeah.
It's really easy. So we'll show you how to calculate your life path number. So first you're going to take your birthday and reduce it to single digits.
Including the year.
Including the year that you were born, not this year.
Yeah, yes.
The year that you were born. So I'm going to lie to you and say that I was born in 99 and make myself feel younger. That's not when I was born, but it's none of your fucking business. So if I was born on December 17th of 1999, I would say 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 7 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9. Whatever number that ends up being, then we're going to reduce it again. However, if your number is 1 through 9, 11, 22, or 33, stop reducing. You're done. That's your life path number. Okay? So we're going to make up your birthday. Let's say it's November 13th, 1994. We're going to make you older than me. That's also a lie, but we're going to do it for this one. What did I just say? I made that up and then I totally
November something.
This is the problem with
we'll
lying.
Say it's November. Did you say 14th? Or am I just thinking of 94? Anyways, but we're going to go with November 14th, 1994. So it would be 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 4 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 4.
Yes.
And there's nothing fancy. You can literally just put all of that into a calculator and hit equals.
If your number is like 36, then we're going to do 3 plus 6.
Right.
And then your life path number is 9.
Yes.
If you total up your birthday and you get the number 22, you're done. That's your number. If you total up your number and you get the number 33, you're done. That's your number. Okay? So it's 1 through 9, with the exceptions of 11, 22, and 33. Is that clear enough for everyone?
If not, you guys can DM us and we will help you.
Or rewind the video and listen again.
Yes.
Okay, so life path number 1. You are a natural leader who is hardworking, independent, and ambitious. Oh, actually, what's your life path number?
Number 1.
Oh, well, fuck. Okay. Mine is number 8. So if you're a number 1 or you're a number 8, congratulations, you share it with us. Moving on, let's figure out what that means. Life path number 1. Again, you are a natural leader who is hardworking, independent, and ambitious. Self-doubt will be your biggest struggle to overcome. You must embrace a unique nature and learn to trust yourself. Yeah, we're not just coming with your good shit. We're going to hit your flaws too today, okay? Life path 2. You are a natural peacekeeper who is empathetic, emotionally intuitive, and artistic. However, you must learn to love and believe in yourself. You need to learn to say no. That means you, brother. I see you. Oh, and you, sister, you gotta figure that shit out too. Stop people pleasing. Okay, life path 3. You're an artist who is communicative, independent, and creative. You must learn the art of patience, especially when dealing with conflict. It can become caught up in negative aspects of self-expression, becoming judgmental, or indulging in gossip. Life path 4. You're a sensible person who is structured, organized, and down to earth. These people can tend to be inflexible and stubborn, so it is important that they learn not to project their incredibly high standards onto others, even yourself. Calm down with those standards, all right? Relinquish your expectations. Life path 5. You're a free spirit who's diplomatic, adventurous, and adaptable. You must learn the art of moderation. Find healthy ways to stimulate your senses, okay? Everything is a balance. Life path 6. You are a caregiver who is family-oriented, compassionate, and dependable. However, you must not overstep other people's boundaries. You must learn to balance your home and work life. Don't step on other people. That's not cool. We got to lift them up, not disempower them. Life path 7. You're a truth seeker who is spiritual, analytical, and intuitive. However, you must learn to communicate and express your emotions and affections effectively. They must also learn to trust your own gut and share your vision with the world. You got this. Your intuition can do this. Life path 8.
That's you.
That's me. You are an entrepreneur who is responsible, powerful, and disciplined. Damn fucking right. However, one of my biggest challenges for this life path is working through personal power issues. Learning to not let anyone or anything disempower you, and also to learn not to disempower others. I have a big problem with that. So speaking from experience, we could do a little work with that one. Life path 9. You are a humanitarian who is fair, philanthropic, and understanding. You can tend to forget yourself in the quest of service to others, leading to take on too much. So we got to watch what's on our plate. As such, you must learn that sometimes holding on to attachments causes more pain than letting go. We'll sing again. Watch out. Okay, so the master numbers 11, 22, and 33 symbolize double-powered energy of the single number it contains. So if you're a 1, or if you're 11, this is just 1 times 2, double fold. So 11 is a master number that represents the subconscious and is associated with the intuition, spirituality, and collaboration. Again, self-doubt and lack of confidence is a big thing in this. It causes a lot of frustrations when they're not able to realize their dreams. 22 is a number associated with manifestation. It's all about creating and building foundations and stability. So when 22s are not in harmony with their true nature, they fall into moodiness and they become aloof and just like general assholes. They may also get timid or become ungrateful or put blame on other people, becoming a victim for their troubles and start blaming the whole world for that shit. Number 33 symbolizes knowledge and is associated with enlightenment. It's mostly bound around creativity and influence. At times, they may feel overburdened by the travails of others, so they just take on too much shit from other people. They must find the balance between help and interference. I found an amazing page called worldnumerology.com. It is an amazing description website of all the life path numbers. I will link the page in the description for you guys so that you can check it out for yourself and get a really big deep dive into what your life path is about if this resonated with you. Overall, my sisterly advice would be to really get curious with yourself and take a bunch of different personality tests to see what resonates. Finding yourself is one of the most fun journeys you will ever go on. It's so empowering. It'll lift your confidence. It makes you feel good, and it's so worth it. So go ahead and chew that over, and then come back next week and see what we're gonna do about that. As for today, we are so glad that you came to chit chat with us. As always, take what you need and leave what you don't. Join us in the next chat if you feel like it. Or take a break from the talk and watch us do some actual work on our new DIY channel, only on YouTube.
Also, check out our social media where we post bonus content and how-to guides from our previous episodes. And while you're there, why don't you tell us what's going on in your world? We want to help. After all, that's what a sister's for.
Bye, guys.
You know. All right. Fuck.
You go first.
No, I don't like that. Fuck.
I'm still don't know who I am.
okay, we're gonna figure it out.
Is that if you are to find one, how long has that been flipped like that?
I don't know. I was trying to tell you with my eyes.
So, step 4. Oh, actually. So how else do you feel like you, what are we talking about?
Okay.
But yeah, I lost my point.
You flip a coin.
I flip a coin.
To help you decide food things. You never really started to make another point before the food. Before the food.
I checked that. So sue me.
Also, let me try that again. Damn. And post. What do we post? Okay.
Bye, guys.
Hot. All right, so we have to find a way to